Hi guys, this is going to be a very emotional, kind of heartbreaking reading. This is basically going to be for somebody that's experienced a Virgo leaving them pretty much like in the middle of the night or with like a text. This is a intuition rant. Basically, it's something that's been on my mind and that I need to present because this is a message for somebody out here. So, quick shuffle here. All right, and the first card that I have coming out is going to be the Nine of Swords. This person was dealing with a lot of anxiety. They were losing sleep, they were spiraling out of control, and they felt like they just couldn't keep up. This was somebody who didn't walk away just all of a sudden. This was somebody that actually put a lot of thought into leaving before they just left. Um, Basically, this was for somebody that was feeling like they were collapsing under their pressure of like their own insecurities. Like they were so much in their head that it drove them to the point where they felt like they needed to leave. They had to get out. Um, let's see what else. Okay, let's try to see what caused this. What may have caused this is the Five of Pentacles. Okay, there had to be like a moment, a conversation, or maybe there was some expectation that was set that made them feel like they had to completely shut down. And no matter how the conversation may have gone or what was said, they felt like they would never be good enough for you. So Virgo took it upon themselves to feel like they could never reach the standards that they had set for you or what they had set in their head or what you expected of them. They felt like that they could never be the person that you deserved, which caused in return for them to like pick up and leave. Um, let's see how Virgo views themselves right now. Okay, so we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. When I look at this card and look what we have already out here on the table, basically it seems to me that they felt small compared to you. Like they were failing at life, they were falling short when they were with you. Um, Basically, they weren't ready for you. They weren't ready to take on the responsibility to meet the standards that one, they set for themselves, and two, it might have been expectations that had been put out there that they felt like they were not going to be able to accomplish with you two being together. Let's dive a little bit more into that. Let's see how he really, or how they really looked at you. And this could be like a male Virgo reading for some. He sees you, or they see you as the Queen of Swords. They see you as being powerful, smart, intelligent, and somebody that will not tolerate nonsense. He or they respect you so deeply, they fear disappointing you. You weren't the problem, they were the problem. This just shows that there needed to be some growth within themselves to meet you where they thought you were, right? Okay. All right. Let's kind of dive into a little bit more of why they left, right? Why they left, we have the Eight of Cups. And when I look at the Eight of Cups, it's like an emotional escape card. They didn't leave because they stopped caring. They left because they cared so much that it overwhelmed them. They walked away to avoid being rejected by you. Even though that may not have been the case, that's how they felt when they were in this energy when they decided to pick up and leave. Um, that's just what it is. Let's see. Let's see what the. Let's see how they leave. Like how. What else do we have here? Okay. So next we have the Knight of Swords in reverse. And this basically shows me that this was a rush situation. Like, this was a very all of a sudden kind of move. Like, they were in such chaos. They couldn't figure out a way to come talk to you where they wouldn't feel small. They wouldn't feel like they weren't good enough. So they basically panicked and they just got up and left. Does it make it right? Is it immature? Yes. Could there have been a conversation like to help remedy this whole situation? Possibly. Um, they should have been a little bit more open, had a little bit more of a conversation with you. And I feel like all this could have been avoided, but I feel like they weren't emotionally mature enough to have these conversations or basically get out of their heads that, you know, you were there for them. Like, you wanted to be there for them. You wanted this relationship, and they just felt like they could not even come to you to have a decent conversation, to talk through things, to figure out if this was the right thing to do before they just picked up and left. And what I'm getting is they either sent you a text like this isn't going to work, or maybe they got up in the middle of the night, kissed you on the forehead, and walked out the door, and you were just confused by like what happened. Like, I thought we were good, only for you to find out that things weren't really good. There were some underlying issues that needed to be addressed. Okay, let's see how this works out after all this has gone down. After they left, let's see how they're feeling about this whole situation. We are Three of Swords. They are heartbroken. They are torn up by the way that they left, because in their mind, they knew that wasn't the right way to leave. They carry a lot of guilt, possibly a lot of shame, and a whole lot of regret. But instead of trying to come back and fix it with you, they basically have folded in on themselves. They're keeping all this energy built up inside of them versus actually expressing how they feel about you and how to get past this and have these conversations so you two can move on. Um and it's really, really sad, and it's terrible for both parties at this point. Okay. Well, let's see. What can we learn from this? What can we learn from this? Let's see what we can learn. Let's see. All right. The Strength card, which makes sense. This is a moment in your life where you didn't expect this to happen. This is probably threw you into a mode of chaos or overthinking of trying to figure out, what did I do wrong? What could I have said differently? Why didn't we have these conversations? And right now, Spirit is just wanting you to stay strong. Like, don't lower your standards. This was not your fault. This is their fault, right? They need to take responsibility for the emotional wounds that they've inflicted on you. They also need to be aware that they've caused this, and they need to actually reflect on what has happened, what their actions were, and how it's affected you in the long run. You didn't push them away. They did this out of fear, but it can be chaotic and heartbreaking, but you have to stand strong, right? You have to stand strong, because that's the only way either you're going to be able to create the patience that's needed for them to figure out what's going on and allow them to come back into your space if that's what you want, or you have to have the strength to walk away and be like, you know what, that was very immature of you. You could have talked to me. And if you can't even do that, to have open communication and clarity on how you're feeling and how we need to work on things and make adjustments, then I don't want you in my life. And that's totally up to you, because we all have free will. Let's pull one more card just to kind of see what's the possibility of, really, really, what's the possibility of this connection. All right, the connection to bring you two back is going to be the Wheel of Fortune. And when I look at this and everything that's gone on and how things have gone away and how they feel about the whole situation, with the Wheel of Fortune coming out at this point, this is not the end, right? I feel like this could have another chance. The wheel is going to turn and maybe open up that door again if you allow them to come back. I would suspect that they will come back in some form of manner. It's just when, and basically it's going to be after they realize what has happened, what they've done, and they've learned their lesson and they've healed from this. But again, this will take time. It's a Virgo. They do a lot of internal thinking before they even come out, right? They've run through all the scenarios and they've figured out what they're going to do. And this may take some time, but based off of this being the end of this reading right now, they will come back. But you have to decide whether or not they're worth letting back in. So with that being said, be strong, okay? Don't lower your standards. Just keep moving forward. And I'm so sorry that happened to you. I do wish everybody the best, and I'm hoping that maybe after some time they realize what they've done, you can reconcile with this person, especially if you really do truly deeply care for them. But just want to get that out there. This is my intuition rant for today. It was something that was sitting heavy on my heart. I am getting ready to go to sleep because I just worked a 12-hour shift and I need to go lay down before I have to work my next 12. So until the next video, take care.